and start this party together singing along, please. I am open to my good. Let's have the first slide, please. I am open to my good right now. I am open to my good. I am open to my good right now. I am open to good. I am open to good. I'm blessed now. I'm my good right now. I am good. I good right now. I bless my good. I bless my good. Give thanks. I give thanks for my good right now. I give thanks for my good. I give thanks for my good right now. I give thanks for my good. I give thanks for my good. Accepted. I accept my good right now. I accept my good. I accept my good right now. Accept my good. I accept my good. Turn to your neighbor and share it. I share my good right now. I share my good. I share my good right now. I share my good. I share. I am open to my good right now. I am open to love. I am open to my good right now. I'm open to love. I'm open to love. Woo! Woo! All right. Well, I always love this section because you get to feel the spirit. I can feel the spirit up inside of me. I can feel the spirit. I can feel the spirit rising up inside of me. I can feel the spirit overflowing now. Feel the spirit rising higher. Feel the spirit overflowing now. Feel the spirit rising higher. Feel the spirit overflowing now. I can feel the sacred rising up inside of me. I can feel the sacred overflowing now. I can feel the sacred rising up inside of me. I can feel the sacred overflowing now. Feel the sacred rising higher. Feel the sacred overflowing now. Feel the sacred rising higher. Feel the sacred overflowing now. I can feel creation rising up inside of me. I can feel creation overflowing now. I can feel creation I can feel creation overflowing now. Feel creation rising higher. Feel creation overflowing now. Feel creation rising higher. Feel creation overflowing now. I can feel the fear. I can feel the fear overflowing now. Rising higher. Feel the fear overflowing now. Feel the fear. Feel the fear overflowing now. Overflowing now. Overflowing now. There you are. I can see you now. Good morning. Happy Sunday. Welcome to the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual. We have been expecting you. Thank you for not disappointing us. It is an honor to have you here in your spiritual home. What a great misty morning it is, isn't it out there? But you got yourself up, you got yourself partially dressed, and you got yourself good. And this is good. This is good. Well, we're going to do what we do every Sunday, which is our vision mission statement. If you'd like to read along, feel so inclined. We are an open, loving, spiritual community dedicated to law, routine, spiritual principles. Again, I know that you have a lot of places you could be right now, but you found yourself here. Sit back, relax. It's nice and warm and dry in here. And we have some announcements for you this morning. I'd first like to announce that Daniel is assisting, and this is Marie's son, and he's assisting with our sound today, our light show and everything. And we're just grateful to And we're going to have Jamaica come up. Jamaica is our board president and a practitioner here, and she has some announcements for us. And so we can sit up and listen to what she has to say. She has some really good stuff. Some stuff's happening. Come on up.
We do have some good stuff happening. Okay, well, first off, just a little reminder, the tax letters. If you were expecting a tax letter and you have not received one, please check in with me after the service, contact me.
Can you hear us at the booth? Can you hear us whispering?
And then we also have some classes starting. We love to learn around here. Pathways to the Soul is beginning this coming up Saturday, February the 22nd, from 12 to 4 p.m. This is an 8-week journey of self-discovery, healing, and spiritual connection. It's a unique class that blends science of mind principles with soul collage and chakra exploration to help you align with your divine nature and embrace your highest potential. Each week, we will explore a different chakra through science of mind teachings, understanding how universal spiritual laws align with our energy centers through guided meditation and the creative process of soul collage. You will connect with your personal chakra spirit animals, deepening your intuition and your awareness. By the end of the course, you will have created a personalized deck of 7 guiding cards to support your continued spiritual evolution. And I brought one up today to give you guys just a little, there's some more on the back counter for you to look at, but this is what one of the cards looks like when you're all done. There is no art skills needed. As a matter of fact, we ask you to leave them behind if you do have any. This is just about letting your inner child come and play and taking pictures and cutting and pasting and just allowing your own personal messages to come through. So really excited about it. It's an 8-week class. The cost is $225. This does include all of the materials, but we do have some scholarships available, and so all are welcome. It will be facilitated by myself and Samantha Hall. And there is a sign-up sheet available on the back counter there. And like I said, if you have any questions, you can speak with myself or Samantha. That starts this coming up Saturday, so hope to see you there. And then we have another class that I know many of you have been waiting for as well. Starting on March the 20th, Reverend Steve will be facilitating the Foundations class. Yay. Are you ready to embark on a transformative journey of spiritual growth and self-discovery? Join us for the Foundations of the Science of Mind class, where we will explore the core principles of spiritual understanding and personal empowerment. Through engaging practices and profound teachings, you will delve into topics like God and the creative process, grace, wholeness, and oneness, attraction, abundance, and living in the flow, joy and Christ consciousness, gratitude, forgiveness, and celebration. This class integrates tools such as journaling, affirmations, meditation, visioning, and more to help you shift from fear to faith and deepen your connection to your authentic self and life. This class is going to start on March the 20th. There are 2 times being proposed right now. Once everybody signs up, then the class will decide which time they want to do. There's an afternoon class from 2 to 5 available, or from 5 to 8. So if that's something you're signing up, keep that in mind, so you can let Rev Steve know which one will work for you. It is a 10-week class. There is one Saturday workshop that is included with that. The cost is $265. That does include your $45 certification fee plus the material fee for the materials. And again, it's going to be facilitated by Reverend Steve. The required textbook is The Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes, and we do have that available in our bookstore, or it's available online as well. So there's a sign-up sheet available on the back counter to reserve your spot. Our metaphysical book study continues to meet on Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. and that goes till 9:45. That's held next door at the LEC building, and they are continuing to study The Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. And then directly after that, our practitioners, facilitate a 15-minute meditation that begins at 9:50 and goes till 10:05. This is a silent meditation, so if you do find you are entering after the 9:50 time, if you could do that in the silence, they would appreciate that. And then this week, our book of the week is The 5 Principles by Ellen Davenport. So this is available in our bookstore after service for 20% off. Okay. Here we go, the flowers. Oh my gosh, we have the beautiful flowers are still from Elizabeth from last week. They're holding up so beautifully. And a reminder that we have our water up here as well, absorbing all the love and light and good juju from us. So thank you for that. Do we have anybody that's joining us here for the first time? If you're here for the first time, if you could raise your hand. We have a we have one. Thank you for joining us. I hope you stay after. Cell phones. Do we have anybody, if you have a cell phone or anything that makes any noise, if you can just go ahead and put that on silent or just turn it all the way off, that would be great. And then we are going to do, again, just a little different before we stand and sing We Are One. If you will just take a moment and turn to your neighbor and let's just greet your neighbor and say good morning in a way that feels normal. Right, if we would like to stand up. We are. We are one. We are one. I am you, you are me, we are one. And in this unity, we shall live in harmony as Jesus comes. As we are one, we are one, we are one. I am you, you are me, we are one. And in this unity, we shall live in harmony as Jesus comes. As we are one. Good morning. Good morning. You notice I don't just get up and go chewing. Just around chewing. I can become very good. Thank you, all my coaches. So, first of all, thank you so much for asking of the spiritual thing. My name is Janet Murray, and I am honored to serve as your podium practitioner today. Please join me in reading the gratitude. It's on the screen behind me. I'm so glad you're here today, and thank you for coming and being part of this lovely community. So, I don't know if you noticed connectedness when we were all holding hands, being on one. That's the subject of it. In the back of your chair, there's a yellow form that you can fill out for a prayer. We as practitioners pray for you for a whole week, which is our joy. And then we're going to give demonstrations on there. Okay, maybe hold it up, Lori, please. So everybody can see it.
And then the blue one is for when we have a demonstration, when the prayer actually comes to fruition. Thank you. You can also go online at grants.csl.org and fill out your prayer request. And that's the word. And then, demonstration. If you wonder what exactly a licensed practitioner does, there's a gold sheet, thank you, Lori, at the back of the seat that you can read. It gives you our phone numbers, and we are here for you, and our main job is to pray. Today's table practitioner is Paula Peterson, who's in the back. She's going to be holding the high watch, and she can direct you to a practitioner after the service for a prayer if you wish. Will the practitioners that are here today that will be available raise your hands, please? Okay, there's a lot of us to get behind. So if you do want a 1-minute miracle prayer, we're happy to do that for you. Okay, now we're going to read the prayer together, which is going to come up on your screen. And now we're going to sing I Am Loved, and you can stay seated. Have you got a Science of Mind magazine? Oh. Radical. That's why we decided we're going to have to read. Primary portion by the minister. Actually, it's not a minister, it's Holden, who is a practitioner, has been for many, many years, and it's called the United States of Consciousness. And I will also say we are in the world of consciousness, but we're going to start here. It is quite possible that there will come such a sense of personal wholeness that you will find it difficult to want anything else. The self is united with all the cells, but is always an individual and unique self. And that's why it's Thomas. So what Holden has to say is that having a radical shift in consciousness brings us to awareness that we are all connected energetically and physically. Today we are Today we dedicate ourselves to living from the United States of consciousness, conscious that we are united in one power, one presence, and one life. It is in the United States of consciousness that we get to see people as they truly are. We not only see them as they truly are, we also accept them as they truly are. No matter what, people are on their own path, taking that path at their own pace. Here. What you and I are called to do is to see them as the most divine and brilliant selves. So today is a day to see life in a whole new way. Seeing through the eyes of love, we choose to see everything that is connected to everything else. Seeing life in this way allows us to live from the United States of consciousness. Remember, we are all in this together, for there is only one life. Let us live that life in a grand way. The affirmation today says, I live, move, and have my being in the divine. I allow the divine to live, move, and have its being as me and you. So keep your mind in your heart, your mind. Take a moment to just have some silence. Go into yourself and just take that moment of quiet time. Not all the time. So as you gently come back into the room, remember our connections. We are all one here. We are all unique. We are all divine beings. Thank you. We have some special music now, and then it's going to be followed by Reverend Stephen's talk. So blessed to have all these wonderful voices. We can change the world. One heart at a time. We can change the world. One heart at a time. I see you. I know you. You're part of me. We can change the world, change the world, one heart at a time. We can change the world, change the world, one heart at a time. I see you, I know you. love. My heart is ready to love you. You can change the world, you can change the world, one heart at a time. You can change the world, one heart at a time. I see you, I know you, you're a part of me. I can change the world, change the world, one heart at a time. I can change the world, one heart at a time. I see you, I know you, you're a part of me. My heart is open to love. My heart is ready to love you. We can change the world, change the world, one heart at a time. We can change the world, change the world, heart at a time. We can change the world, change the world. Change the world.
Well, let's hear it for, well, here we are in the midst.
Valentine's Day, belated. Yeah, how was it? All right. Are you loving yourself? All right. Well, there's only one of us here, so whoever you're loving, it's all good. So today's title is
The Art of Mindful Living.
Sneak the Ripple bottle out of my parents' refrigerator. It's terrible. It's terrible. So as we uncover our hidden biases, our thoughts and our stories, and we can change the way we relate to the world when we uncover what makes us.
We are. This is called transformation. We, and you, and everybody else that's hanging around is in the midst of a collective, transformative experience. We are in the midst of the birth canal right now. Poison.
But you know, this is what we signed on for.
This is what we asked for. You're like, I did not ask for this. Well, subliminally you did. Subliminally you asked for change, and this is what it looks like. Tip not pun, in the Zen and the Art of Saving the Planet wrote, when Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. marched in downtown Chicago against the Vietnam War on March 25th, 1967. He did so under a banner in English and Vietnamese that read, "Men are not our enemies. If we kill men, with whom shall we live?" See, it's not other people who are our enemies. Instead, our enemies are our anger, our resentment, and our hatred, and our fear, or our discrimination. Those energies are what we're wrestling against. The path of not hating the enemy is a profound spiritual practice. And it's one that we deal with all the time, isn't it? You know, something happens in the world and we want to point a finger. They did that wrong, or they voted wrong, or they didn't vote. They. Well, if there's only one of us here, they is you, and you is they. Dr. King once said that if we had enough spirituality and ethics, we'll be able to replace hate with love. Think of that. Where it comes up for you to be upset about something, what if you loved it? What if you went, oh wow, this is that opportunity for deep, transformative love. You may look into your family situation and go, oh, I did not sign up for this. What kind of love are you talking about? I'm so far away from it sometimes. But that's exactly what's happening. We're being shown places that need love. As meditators, we train in this way of seeing life so that we can confront injustice without hating it. That's our first step, is when you see something that's not right, instead of being so upset that you can't see, being so in love with the opportunity for growth that hatred falls away. And I know, it's difficult, isn't it? It's like, we need to add a spiritual dimension to our lives. A spiritual dimension that allows us to see through a different lens. You know, they talk about seeing life as through rose-colored lenses. But that tends to color things in a way that we don't see the realness of what's happening. Don't do a spiritual bypass. Oh, it's all good. Well, it's all good. And it hurts. And, you know, respond with love, right? Respond with love. Sometimes we have to respond with tough love. Get real. And tell it like it is. What the world needs most now is the compassion of God, the compassion of source energy. We need a God of non-discrimination. We need a God of tolerance, a God of love. Can you love what's happening so much that we can see it for what it truly is? Separation. See, love allows us to go further and to see hatred, anger, and discrimination not so much as enemies, but as energies that need to be shifted. They're inside of all of us. We just have to change our perspective. That can be embraced and transformed by the renewing of our mind. So how do we do this? We need to see things differently. You know, we want to change the world and do it one heart at a time, starting with your own. starting with you. You know, you can't change anybody else. You really can't. We try. If I could just change them, everything would be fine. Science of mind teaches that our thoughts create our reality. What we pay attention to is what becomes real for us. So I was working with this new idea that was presented to me. You know the law of attraction? Everybody kind of knows what the law of attraction is. Birds of a feather flock together. You know, what is attracted to you is what you hold in your consciousness is what's true for you. But let's go a little deeper. You guys want to go a little deeper with this?
Yeah.
You ready for some powerful metaphysics this morning? How about the law of reflection? When you look into a mirror, you are using the law of reflection, right? Now, if you want to change something in your life, do you like lunge at the mirror? No, it's just a reflection of what you are. If you want to straighten your tie, you don't do it in the mirror, you do it here, right? So what our world is a divine reflection of what we are. Well, we have some change. We have some new consciousness that's rising. And it is rising. But sometimes when things boil up, they boil over. Which gets rid of the things that no longer serve us. We're in the midst of boiling over right now, aren't we? Depends on where you're at with all this. You need to simmer down a little bit and see things in a different perspective. In psychology, this is called biased attention, a type of confirmation bias where we selectively focus on information that confirms our view while ignoring or discounting data that doesn't. Oh, I just don't see that. It may be happening, but I don't see it, and that's a spiritual bypass. We have to look it directly in the heart and go, you know what, I know what this is, and I love it. Now, you don't have to love what's happening, but you have to love that it's all source. And when you send love to that idea, a new idea is born within it, and it can transform by the renewing of its mind. See, we can't change anything or anybody else, but we can change our perspective of it. And by changing our perspective, the situation changes. Either it transforms into something powerful that you want to be around, or it dissolves back into the nothingness from which it came. Are you ready for that? This in turn influences how we relate to others and to ourselves. It can seem daunting to uncover these hidden beliefs or biases because we are the sum of everything we have ever thought, believed, and done, plus the influences that it has upon us. And we're living out the influences that things have had upon us. But there comes a time where the old energy no longer works in the new world. It just doesn't work anymore. And we're in the midst of that birth canal where the old life is passing away. Boy, we sure want to hold on to that. We want to hold on to that whole idea. Because it's familiar, it's comfortable. Maybe dysfunctional. But I know it. I know that dysfunction. While we can't change the outside world, we can change our perceptions. Change is always possible. There was a time that you didn't believe in any of this mumbo jumbo. You thought that we were like from another planet, and here you are, in this room on another planet. Ernest Holmes wrote The Science of Mind on page 291. We exist in limitless opportunities, which are forever seeking expression through us. Destroy the thought that would place limitation or bondage upon any situation or condition. Talk to yourself, not to the world. Talk to yourself. We so want to tell them off. And they are a part of you. So you need to start telling yourself off. Oh, no, it's good. He goes on to say, there is no one to talk to but yourself. For all experiences take place within. Conditions are the reflections of our meditations and nothing else. So where have your meditations been? What have you been focusing on? The challenge or the solution? There is but one mind. That mind is our mind now. It never thinks confusion, knows what it wishes, and how to accomplish what it desires. It is what it desires. Again, that was Ernest Holmes, Science of Mind, page 291. You know, a commonly heard phrase in our Centers for Spiritual Living, circles, is creating a world that works for everyone, or works for all. But how often do we really look at what that means? Who decides what works for all? And who do we include in this all? Is that everybody or just the people we like? Humans are meaning-seeking creatures, and we create stories to give our life meaning. Stories help us understand why the world is the way it is, and understand our place in it. What happens is that we keep telling the old stories over and over, and we believe it. And then we become it. And we forget that we're here for transformation, not to tell the old stories over and over again. We're here to tell new stories. We're here to not be in his story, but her story. That's for another talk. Societies and religious traditions have overarching stories about what it means to be a good person and about who is valued and who isn't. And these stories can change over time. But what remains is that it is people in power who have the ability to enforce which stories influence cultural or religious norms. Interesting. We also learn stories from our families, from our educational system, from our popular or unpopular cultures. Part of spiritual growth is being critically examining, being able to critically examine the stories and look for places where the stories lead to separation rather than unity. Are you looking for the unity or are you looking for what divides us? And this isn't a, you're looking to divide us, it's a self-realization. I mean, we're all going through this together, right? This is a collective experience. It's important to remember that these stories aren't true, rather they are our interpretation of reality. You know, 5 different people can witness something that happens and tell 5 different stories about it, depending on their perspective. Was it a stumbling block or a stepping stone? Depends where you are in consciousness. The point is not to stop telling stories, is to become aware of the stories that we tell and see if they still fit in this new energy. Because sometimes they don't. I caught myself the other day. That's my hard-earned money I'm spending. I was like, I don't want to have to work hard for nothing. I mean, I do work hard. It's a labor of love, right? I mean, if it's not fun, I'm not interested. I mean, really, I sold insurance for a couple of years, it just wasn't my thing. Now, I'm not saying anything bad about people who sell insurance, it's great, people need that. But it's just not my thing. You gotta find your thing and do it like a ministry. Wake up thinking about it, how you can make other people's lives better. That's why we're here. The first step in becoming aware of our stories is to become mindful of how we objectify and stereotype others. To do this, we must be willing to get quiet and pay attention to our first thoughts that come in. Your first thoughts are the initial thoughts that we have when we meet somebody, or when something happens, or when we read an article or watch a TV show. The first thought is generally the most unfiltered thought and reflects our hidden beliefs and biases. Once we become aware of those thoughts, we can work to change them, to look at them differently, rather than letting them run the show. You know, when I was an untrained mind, I would just go down the rabbit hole. You know, I know that that street has a big pothole on it. I have fallen in so many times that I can't get myself out. But over the time, I've realized that I don't want to go down that street anymore. It doesn't serve me to go down that rabbit hole anymore. I've seen where it leads, and they're just a bunch of rabbit stuff in there. So I don't need to be part of that. I want to be on the surface where enlightenment is. And this doesn't mean we don't go down rabbit holes sometimes. We just don't stay there. Keep moving. And soon that street and that rabbit hole will disappear along the surface. So this can be an uncomfortable practice at times, but as spiritual beings, we're called to practice. You know, if we want transformation, we must sit with the uncomfortable at times. Can you do that? You know, we run so fast from the uncomfortable. Oh, I don't want to be there. We need to sit next to the uncomfortable and get uncomfortable and work it out, figure it out, and come away with a comfort, even in our uncomfortableness. Pema Chodron writes, transformation occurs only when we remember, breath by breath, year after year, to move toward our emotional distress without condemning or justifying our experiences. And that's called the places that scare you. Places that scare you. I don't get scared. Don't get scared. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right. We're gonna get through this together. There is nothing so dark that we can't figure out. As we engage in this practice, it's important to remember our spiritual tools and remember, as Holmes said in this thing called you, with a good nature, flexibility with yourself, learn to rise from confusion into peace, from sadness into joy. Turn to the light within. Believe in yourself. Listen deeply to the divine nature which forever imparts itself to you. It's always imparting itself to you. It's always giving you a new idea. Again, that's in this thing called you, page 88. Seeking to free ourselves from hidden beliefs, biases, and stereotypes is a lifelong practice. It's not like, you know, oh, I just quit smoking today. Glad I could just let that go. Not always that easy if you've ever smoked or had a habit that became a lifestyle. It's something that you do prayer, meditation. Now, it can happen in the twinkling of an eye. I'm all open to that. I would love a miraculous energy to take some of my challenges away, but I found that it's something I have to work with myself on. And every day remind myself, oh, I'm not doing that anymore. Yeah, that's not me. I don't like that. All of life is practice. This is why we call our spiritual partners here practitioners. What are you practicing? We are practicing the awareness of the presence of source energy as you understand. And every day, our practitioners are trained to go there. It's a wonderful lifestyle. You don't have to get a license to do it. It's kind of cool to be licensed to pray. We practice the awareness of the presence of God as we understand it. There is no end goal, but there is always more practice. The more likely we are to live a fulfilling life when we practice it. Mindfulness practice reminds us, as Ram Dass taught, to be here now. Past is gone, the future has not yet come. All you've got is this moment. So how are you using this moment? Let go of those hidden biases when you uncover them. Don't stay stuck in them. Now you may have to do a little workshop or read a book or call a practitioner or a therapist to work it out, and that's okay. If you want to go have a little cry, it's healthy. Come on, guys, it's okay to cry. You gotta let that stuff go. It's gonna eat you up inside. Yeah. It also means we might have to let go of what society has taught us about some things. Ooh, there's some real change. See, many of us get swept away by the events and situations around us. And whatever we see and hear, we just get swept into that. Oh, there goes, okay. Oh, shiny object. Oh, well, yeah. Squirrel. We lose ourselves. This is why we must cultivate freedom from the crowd. Be in it, but not of it. So in conclusion, as you think about this, pay attention to any resistance that may be popping up for you. It's an invitation to listen deeply to your inner self. Spend some time getting quiet. Turn within and ask yourself just a couple questions. Where in my life do I allow my biases and prejudice or preconceived notions that may prevent me from seeing others as they truly are? And how do my hidden biases prevent me from treating others with loving kindness? Simple questions. Just notice. Just check it out. Just when you have that come up and go, oh, I'm not like them. We are all like each other. There is no separation. So be willing to sit with what arises without judgment. If you're thinking about something right now, you have work to do. Do not harbor prejudice or bias. Ask yourself, do I have prejudice or bias? Do you have a body? You probably have some work to do. If you didn't, you'd trip to life fantastic and been in the next plane of existence, whatever that is to you. We just might have a little bit of work to do. You know, we carry all of our beliefs and biases as stories that affect the way we see life. And by changing those ideas, we change what we attract. Learning to understand these things about ourselves allows us to be a new ripple in life. and to practice the art of living consciously. So time for us to follow our teaching and go within. So I invite you to bring to the forefront of your consciousness what you believe is the power of creation. Go ahead and bring the lights. So as we bring to the forefront of our consciousness what we believe the power of creation is to us, a unified field of consciousness is expressed as who and what we are, blurring the lines between us and allowing that one loving consciousness to rise. I may not know what you're working with. I may not know what may have cried you to sleep last night, but I know God knows. And I know that if there is something that you're working with, I know that there is a solution, there is a healing, and there is a way to walk through it. And as we open those channels of healing and revealing of the truth, a wonderful new energy floods in, radiating love, peace, and harmony into our situations that allow us to loosen our grip physically and metaphysically of anything that previously blocked our inner flow, and all of a sudden those things become our assets. They are now things that build us up and bring us higher in consciousness, for we see them in a new light. There is a new radiation of peace and harmony and love that is happening in the world right here. And as we align ourselves with the healing, a new revealing of truth is transformed. We thank our challenges and our biases and our ways of previously looking at things. For they served us to some degree, but they no longer serve us in a way that allows us to transform. So we allow them to gently and easily fall away back into the nothingness from which they came. And a new sense of self has come before us. A new energy of true love, self-love, emerges into our being in such a magnificent and powerful way that nothing else matters but love. For love is the very glue that holds everything together. So we allow that elixir of love to move like a fountain from the top of our heads into the atmosphere and rain down on our world in such a beautiful, magnificent way. This never-ending fountain of love, this shower that we now stand in, is the new truth of our being, of love. So we give great thanks. Thank you, divine, loving energy of all creation, for giving us this time, this space, and this place to rethink and to remember and to resolve anything that previously stood in our way or blocked our flow. We let go in love, releasing this directly into the living, loving law of mind where it is transformed because of the renewing of our consciousness. We let go. Let God. We stop. And so it is. We are going to do our viewing out our, go ahead, next slide. Our prosperity affirmation, so you'd like to put your hand on your heart or your gift on your heart. Let's repeat this together. I.
Can you still hear us whisper?
Pure spiritual energy besides the gifts of the collective. They're evidence of our faith, our belief, and our ability to manifest in this world of form. They do good work in the world. They bless the giver and the receiver and allow this, the Grand Fast Center for Spiritual Living, to be open and available, teaching truth and inviting those to remember who they are, and open for those who may not know it yet. And for this entire community is blessed. So it is. While songs,
Can you hear me talking to you right now through the computer?
something wonderful is happening right now.
Something wonderful.
It's happening in my mind, in my body, and in the body of my affairs. I think it, I feel it, I know it.
I know it.
That's the way that it is. No. Thank you, life. Thank you, life. Have an awesome week, everybody.